This documentary is an investigation into the views of both the general public and people in some form of power. Whether the ban is truly effective, whether the ban should become nationwide, and if it has full support of the people. There have been many different protests to the public drinking ban, as well as ongoing petitions from the like of the Manifesto Club, who unfortunately refused to comment. However, we managed to speak to one of the key organisers of the party on the London Circle line on the final day it was legal to drink on the Underground.
It's probably saved a lot of criminal activity for the police. I think people should have the choice. They're paying to go on public transport if they're drinking responsibly. But it's fairly typical of New Labour sort of control over everything everyone does.
I don't think anyone should eat or drink in public, on trains, on the Underground, in the street. It looks appalling, absolutely appalling. And of course, many young people now growing up with it about the ability to sit at a table and use a knife and fork.
The public drinking ban was brought into force in selected local areas in 2007 after repeated complaints from many people and growing media coverage of the subject.
Well, I mean, the pub trade is a dying trade. I know that from up north, about 150 pubs are closing a week. So obviously, because people that aren't drinking on the streets anymore, they're going to be coming into the pubs. Obviously, I don't know if it's going to save the pub as a whole, but I think that it should help somewhat. So yeah, I mean, if this drinking ban went nationwide, I imagine that it would probably save a lot of businesses.
Since then, there has been a mass debate over the subject of the drinking ban, with good, strong arguments coming from both sides.
I think it's a very good idea because there's some boroughs that doesn't have the drinking ban, and then they suffer from a higher crime rate than those that do.
A post note from the Parliamentary Office of Science and Technology in June 2005 said that alcohol is a factor in 30% of all sexual offences, 33% of burglaries, and 50% of street crimes. So how effective do you think a public drinking ban is? We asked JP Dennis Smith in an attempt to find out.
That's a very hard one. I think in certain areas it's probably good, but overall I don't think it is.
The bar industry as a whole leads us on to the people who hand out licences to such establishments, Justice of the Peace, JPs, and if the drinking ban has affected the way in which they hand out licences. Has the public drinking ban affected how you give out licences?
Public drinking ban affects it, but the biggest problem with respect to giving out licences is the conditions of the pub, the owner, how their attitude is, and the area, unfortunately, where the pub is.
Advocates and detractors of the public drinking ban have good points to make. Some argue that moderation is the key. Do you think it's fair for everyone to be punished for the actions of a small minority?
I don't think it's a punishment because those wishing to drink can do so at home or in a pub. It's just cutting crime and stopping those that cause a nuisance.
If you believe in the drinking ban, do you think it could be improved in any way?
Yes, if they made it nationwide and made those boroughs that don't have the drinking ban have the drinking ban.
According to The Guardian, more than a third of British adults drink over the safe daily alcohol limit, which leads us to wonder how this health problem is being dealt with. We asked paramedic Kim Wheatley how effective the drinking ban is and how public drunkenness might be tackled.
I think it should be nationwide. I don't see why certain areas have it and others don't. It should be in all towns and major cities. Any ban is only as effective as the policing of it.